Hello, welcome to a very special edition of Game On, where we're in absolutely freezing Canada for a look behind the scenes at the Ubisoft studios and an exclusive hands-on with Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
Conviction.
Huh?
You forgot the conviction.
Okay. An exclusive hands-on with Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
Better. Coming up.
Who killed my duck?
We become Sam Fisher with an exclusive hands-on. Nat gets a behind-the-scenes look at Ubisoft.
What is that pile of sand?
I try my hand at KRAV, and we bring you a very special edition of the Hard Sell.
Oh, give me a chance, eh? It's not my first language.
But first, for those of you totally new to the Splinter Cell franchise, here in the freezing cold is the story so far. Our hero Sam Fisher is a member of the Third Echelon, an elite branch of the National Security Agency. For the first 3 games, Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow and Chaos Theory, he's fighting terrorists, taking down the bad guys. In the 4th game, Sam Fisher turns double agent. In Splinter Cell, double agent. He infiltrates a group of terrorists walking a fine line between good and evil. His daughter is killed. Splinter Cell Conviction sees Sam off the grid and off the leash. He'll fight former colleagues, former friends and anyone in his way to catch his daughter's killer. Think Bond meets Bourne meets Bauer. This time, it's personal.
I don't do this sort of thing anymore.
You're not out. Only one hint about Sarah and you dove right back in.
What we're really trying to do is embrace who we are, but deliver it a little bit more in a dynamic way, right? So we're not changing the values of what Splinter Cell is, right? You still have the tactics, the tension, the stealth, the realism, and Sam obviously, but we want to change the way we're kind of filming our experience, the way we're creating it.
Listen to me. If you want to find out more about your daughter, you'll do what we say.
You're running a pipeline for stolen Russian EMP tech through Malta.
Shrouded in secrecy and subject to some lengthy delays, Splinter Cell Conviction is the most anticipated Tom Clancy title yet. Now though it's coming from the cold, the gloves are off and we're behind the scenes at Ubisoft to get our hands on the game in progress.
This is bigger than both of us.
So I've been playing for about half an hour now and first impressions are really good. It's definitely Splinter Cell redefined. We're seeing a new side to Sam Fisher. It's a lot more raw, it's a more personal storyline for him, and he's definitely off the leash.
I'm afraid the office is closed for the evening, Mr.
Fisher.
The controls are also something to be celebrated. They're mapped out differently to a lot of other titles, meaning on paper they look close to bizarre, but in practice Conviction has one of the most intuitive control systems I've encountered in a long time. For instance, the reload function is mapped onto the left stick button. I thought it sounded rubbish when I heard, but it works like a charm, leaving me wondering why it's not the norm in a lot more titles. There's also been a big move toward a seamless gameplay experience, whereas before you'd be taken out of the game to watch a cinematic or read off some new objectives, now they're all projected into the environment around you. It's a much more immersive and flowing experience, keeping you well and truly in the game.
Tell me what I need to know, and I might not snap your neck.
It's also a useful feature in that it allows you to control how many prompts you get from the game and how much you're left to work out for yourself. While you'll be given the main objectives at the start of each section, it doesn't then prompt you again unless you ask it to. At that point it projects the objective back onto the wall and also gives you a marker telling you how far away you are. So if you want to try and work everything out for yourself, you can. If you fancy burning through the game without exploring every corner though, that's fine too. One of the standout new features is called Mark and Execute. You earn it by performing a hand-to-hand kill, and it then allows you to mark and pick off several enemies at once in a super slick animation. Now, stealth has always been key in Splinter Cell, and with Conviction, it's more dynamic than ever. When you're in the shadows, the colour drains out of everything except your enemies, allowing you to plan your assault and prepare to re-engage. It sounds like a bit of a weird feature, and I'll admit when I first heard I wasn't keen, but it really helps you get immersed in the experience. It's subtle and striking at the same time. It's not abrasive or obnoxious like a warning siren, but it is bold enough to always make you aware of your status, to the point when the colour drains back in, you start feeling genuinely vulnerable.
So having played it for a while now, Splinter Cell Conviction seems slick, seamless and intuitive. The Bond style back to brutal basics makeover really suits Sam Fisher, and we can't wait to get our hands on the finished game.
What was that?
They love their secrecy here at Ubisoft, and behind me is where most of those secrets are hidden. We've been granted rare behind-the-scenes access to the Ubisoft studios and the developers behind the Prince of Persia, Assassin's Creed and, of course, Splinter Cell franchise.
I haven't worked in the other studios, but I'm pretty sure our studio kicks ass.
It's an awesome place to work. I don't think there's another place like it in the world where so many game developers that are from all over from the country, but from all over the world, work together here on tons of game projects. It's great to get some feedback from people who work on other teams, also technology that they develop, ideas that they have that we can piggyback on. So every team can inspire other teams, and we can reuse bits of codes for this. And so it's really cool to be able to just, I don't know, share the information, share the technology and the ideas with other teams that work on like crazy AAA games.
Hall of Fame here, some impressive looking awards, a golden reel for Prince of Persia, a thank you from Xbox, and of course platinum discs galore for the likes of Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell. Here, all the games the company's ever released, from Assassin's Creed 2 to My Healthy Cooking Coach. Okay, so this room, which looks a little bit like my flat, I'll be honest. What goes on here?
It's Foley, so that what we're doing is we're creating sounds for the game, mainly sounds that couldn't be found in audio FX collections.
Nice. What is that pile of sand? What possible noise could that make?
Someone walking on sand or on broken glass.
The sands of time.
The sands of time.
You're getting that? That is the sound of the sands of time right there. So this is the sound booth where the voice artists record their sounds for the video games. This is where Michael Ironside did the voice for Sam Fisher, I believe.
Exactly, we had a really nice recording with him.
Tell me what I need to know, and I might not snap your neck.
I'm sure you could do something good, you too.
Yeah? Do you want to give me a line?
Yeah,
sure. The classic Sam Fisher line.
Try that. So Michael Ironside said, I have a message for those who stand in my way, pray. But try Michael Ironside's voice.
I'll do my best. I have a message for those who stand in my way. Pray. Yeah?
I guess I'll give you the excerpt so you can play it and listen to it.
You don't
sound,
you're good. You don't sound very impressed. No, you're not even hiding it very well.
Sorry.
So there you have it, a whirlwind tour around Ubisoft. If I'm honest, there was a lot of stuff we couldn't show you. It's all classified. I tried to go Black Ops and lose the cover, but it didn't really work. But hopefully that gives you an insight into how it is working at Ubisoft.
So we all know Splinter Cell Conviction features a Sam Fisher we've never seen before, but it also takes action games into all new territory. KRAV is the brutally effective self-defense system being premiered for the first time ever in a game, so I've come to this gym to try it out. Don't move.
Krav Maga is a simple, effective system of self-defense developed in Israel and now spreading very, very quickly around the world as a very popular way to defend yourself. It can be brutal. The operator of Krav Maga is basically trained to know when to use the minimum force, but as we saw today, we're dealing with a computer game element which is designed to be about eliminating enemies and taking out, neutralising threats. So yeah, the techniques that I used in the game and that we looked at in some of the demos today were quite brutal, yes.
Tell me what I need to know, and I might not snap your neck.
So that was Krav Maga, definitely effective, definitely efficient. Not really sure I liked having a gun pointed at me, but still, if it's good enough for Sam, it's good enough for me.
That's nearly your lot from Montreal. You know the plot, you've seen the hands-on, and you've been thoroughly trained in Krav Maga. There's only one thing left to do, and that's put the men behind the game to the test. This is the hard sell with a C.
3, 2, 1.
Splinter Cell Conviction is number 5 of the franchise, and it redefines the stealth action genre. You're going to be playing Sam Fisher, a man who's looking for answers. He's looking for the killer of his daughter, and you're going to be playing the ultimate predator. So you're going to be starting the game in Malta. You're going to go to Washington, D.C. to uncover a great conspiracy against the U.S. government, and hopefully if you play right, you'll be able to save the day. We've got some really cool features like the last known position and the mark and execute. The mark and execute is my favorite feature. It allows you to get into position, mark your enemies, and then once you're ready, you press on a button and you kill 2-3 enemies super fast, super quickly.
Boom, you smashed it. I'm impressed. Second language.
36 seconds.
36 seconds. I'm sure you could speak for hours in French.
Well, actually, yes and no, because we're so used to using English words in our work about the game, and also like most of the PR we do is in English, that sometimes we go into French and we're like, what's the name for last known position in French, and what's the name for, so it's, the technical terms are harder to translate, I guess.
Well, that's it for this week from a freezing -10 Canada. Hope you enjoyed it. We're off to go rogue and find cover in Montreal. See you back in the warm studio next week. Hello, welcome to a very special edition of Special Edition Game On. Okay. Hello, welcome to a very special edition of Game On, where see, I told you it's going to take a while. Hello, welcome to a very special edition of Free Fruit, the largest bananas I've ever seen, standard. Tom Clancy's Splinter Cell.
Better. Coming up.
Yeah, that'll do. Yeah. We're off to find cover in Montreal. Yeah, okay.
Is that not something you want to
let
us know? Maybe if I just...
We're off to find cover in Montreal. I'm so cold. My head's cold.